Hi guys, so I wanted to do something more on Tool, but right now I don't want to play a complete video again because, I think I might be sailing close to the wind with copyright if I do that. So I have listened to another song that was recommended to me by someone in the comments, and that song is Parabola, which is from Lateralus, I believe. And it was very interesting, excellent song. And I can say the same thing about it as I said about the other two, really, from musical point of view. It's mostly based on a riff, and the whole atmospheric effect is created by the three members. I think there are three members, right, or four, um, playing together with their usual aplomb and meshing uh, in a very hypnotic way and highly musical way. I think that the voice is very clearly used as another instrument in Tool, and that is very interesting too. So, I found this song interesting lyrically, so that's what I'm going to do in this reaction, mostly talk about the lyrics. So, the title is interesting, Parabola. It's basically a mathematical term, I think, and it's usually talking about a particular pathway, which is like a U. Something goes out and then returns, like a boomerang, for example. That's a kind of parabola. So, what I would see them doing in this title is making a point that about something that is going out and returning. So, let's take a look at the lyrics. I'll just read a little bit of them. Um, we barely remember who or what came before this precious moment. We are choosing to be here right now. Hold on, stay inside this holy reality, this holy experience. Choosing to be here in this body holding me. Be my reminder here that I am not alone in this body holding me, feeling eternal. All this pain is an illusion. Well, I find this very interesting, um, and I relate it to some, you might say, New Age ideas, particularly Buddhist ideas, perhaps. I think in the States right now, every town seems to have its Buddhist temple, and there are lots of gurus around instructing people. I think most of these traditions believe in reincarnation, the idea of circle of life being like a parabola, really. So go out and come back. So you're born, die, and then come back again. The idea being that you will learn new lessons in each life, progress, die, then move on to the next life where you can learn more. However, all these traditions believe that you don't come back remembering previous existences. So uh, you come back not knowing anything. We barely remember who or what came before this precious moment. So, that's interesting. It's a precious moment because there are so many living things in the universe, and it's only as a human being, according to these traditions, that one can make progress. One can think about what one does, one can practice meditation techniques, visualization techniques, and progress. So if you're born as something else, you can't do that. You're just waiting to be born as a human being again. So there's always the emphasis on being born uh, as a human being. So you have to live a good life. You have to live a useful life in order to be sure about that. So the emphasis is always on the precious human existence. And so I see these connections in terms of New Age philosophies in the lyrics. Possibly somebody who wrote these lyrics. I don't know who wrote them. Maybe not everybody in Tool is into these kind of things, but I do feel that whoever wrote this has some idea of these kind of philosophies. Hold on, stay inside this holy reality, this holy experience, choosing to be here in this body holding me. Be my reminder that I am not alone in the body, this body holding me, feeling eternal. All this pain is an illusion. So, in Buddhist traditions, for example, people have to meditate and visualize, and in certain forms of meditation, they have to concentrate on their pain because the belief is this is not the real, this is not reality, this is not true level of existence, or at least it's not real. The only real reality is above this plane. This is a place where we think things are real, but actually we just learn, the spirit, the soul learns things here and then can progress on to the next level of reality. So that's what I'm getting from these lyrics, the idea of the soul as a kind of eternal parabola, going through that cycle of birth and death, learning something new and then coming back to learn more until eventually everything has been learnt that is needed, and one progresses onto the next plane of reality. I do get from Tool this idea that uh, it's a spirit, the soul that's real, and what we experience in the world is not real. So that would certainly fit in very well with these realities. I was saying that in some of these traditions, something that is done in the meditational technique is to concentrate on pain, because if you can concentrate on pain, which seems to be the realist thing of all, and understand it doesn't have any reality, then you can understand clearly that everything else in the world doesn't have any reality either. So when people are sitting in meditational techniques for very long periods of time, their backs ache and their legs ache, their behinds ache, and the guru will tell you to concentrate on your pain, and that if you do that, eventually it will just go away. And by doing this, you understand that pain doesn't really exist. And if pain doesn't really exist, which seems to be the truest thing of all, then nothing else exists here either. And you can realize that this is not reality at all. So, interesting correlation between these lyrics and some of these ideas. Let's continue. Let's go on. Uh, yeah, this body holding me, be my reminder here that I am not alone in this body holding me, feeling eternal. All this pain is an illusion. So that's a repetition, basically. So it's a soul that's real in the body, and the soul has to realize that what the body may feel as real is not, or the mind may perceive as real is not. Let's go on. In this holy reality, in this holy experience, choosing to be here in this body holding me, be my reminder here that I am not alone in this body holding me, feeling eternal. All this pain is an illusion. So you feel eternal in the body, but all the pain is an illusion and everything else is an illusion. As I said earlier, pain is often used in these Buddhist traditions to and Hindu traditions to as a particular exemplar, because if you can understand that pain is unreal, then you can appreciate that everything else in this world is also unreal. I do get this idea in Tool of this world is unreal, and the only true thing is the soul, which is eternal. So it fits in very well with these ideas. Let's continue. Right. Twirling round with this familiar parable, spinning, weaving round each new experience, recognize this as a holy gift and celebrate this, to be alive and breathing, the chance to be alive and breathing. So recognize this as a holy gift. Yeah, so these traditions, they believe that to be born as a human being is already a great gift. There are so many creatures you could have been born as, but it's already a sign of great progress to be born as a human being, and the only way you can progress is to continue to be born as a human being. So the parabola of birth and death hopefully will be continually as a human being, because then you can progress. It's only as a human being you can learn through meditation, visualization. Otherwise you're a dumb animal or something else that cannot learn, cannot progress. So you just go through eons without having any chance to get out until perhaps you build up enough merit over millennia in order to be born as a human being again. So yeah, appreciate the fact that you are born as a human being and make use of this time to learn and to progress. So yeah, that does seem to be there. Recognize this as a holy gift. The chance to be alive and breathing. This body holding me reminds me of my own mortality. Embrace this moment. Remember, we are eternal. All this pain is an illusion. So the body is holding us and reminds us of our mortality, the fact that we will die. However, remember that we are eternal. That's the soul that's eternal. And the pain is an illusion. The pain as a particularly important exemplar of something that can show us, given the right circumstances, that the whole world we are in is unreal. As I say, these traditions, they concentrate on pain as a means of understanding the unreality of the world. So I do find this correlation between the lyrics of this song and some New Age philosophies like Buddhism, which have been popular in the States for a long time now. Uh, we find Buddhist temples and Vedanta centers all over the States, really. Um, I've I know of several myself. So yeah, these ideas um, are definitely there, and of course, it's mostly the people who think the most deeply who get involved with them, at least for a time, even if they don't accept them eventually. So yeah, I find this aspect of Tool interesting. The the idea that spirit is greater than the world around us, and the spirit is eternal and ready to move on to bigger and better things. So yeah, I hope that what I've said makes sense. If you agree or disagree, please comment below. Please remember that I have listened to the song, so I know the music too, and that is highly effective. And of course, a song is about the way the lyrics go together with the music. But this time, I thought it was better not to play the music for obvious reasons, I guess. Yeah. So, you have any comments about what I've had to say? Please do write them below. And if you've enjoyed this video or got anything out of it, please like it and consider subscribing. So thanks for listening, and see you next time. Thanks a lot.